Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 202 of Report This Post, the podcast about bad posts and bad people. My name's Geiger, and that is Christian.
This one is Chinese for my dog died.
And we are your hosts with the posts. Every week, Christian, myself, or a listener select a different topic and then find horrible posts for your listening pleasure. And this week's topic, as chosen by a listener named Connor, is tattoos.
That's right, yes.
Those wonderful mistakes you put on your body back in 2011 when getting tattoos was super cool.
There is really a fine line between it being cool and it being really trashy. Isn't that the case? Yeah. For me, especially. Yes. I believe that's the case.
Before we get into our posts. Okay. First of all, what is a tattoo?
Sure. From the Simple English Wikipedia, a tattoo is a mark made by putting ink into the skin. Tattoos may be made on human or animal skin. Tattoos on humans are a type of body modification, but tattoos on animals are mostly used for identification. People sometimes get tattoos to show that they belong to a gang or a cultural group. People get tattoos in tattoo parlors. Getting a tattoo is painful, although some people have more pain than others, and some body parts are more painful to tattoo than others. Most tattoos today are created using an electric tattoo machine, which uses needles to put ink into the body.
Cool. I do like the idea of someone listening to this and being like, "Now, what's the topic?"
Okay, now
what is this?
What is
two T's then two O's next to each other?
I do want to say,
a wild word.
On the entry for the Simple English Wikipedia for tattoo, there's 3 images to open it with. The first image is subtitled "Subtle Tattoos," and it's an actress with a small little tattoo. The next one is "Elegant Tattoos," with a woman that has like more intricate tattoos covering her chest. And then the third one is "Rather More Noticeable Tattoos," and it's a woman with her nipples tattooed into stars. Just completely unsaid.
That's a leap to go from those two to that one.
More noticeable. I mean, they weren't wrong.
No, they're not. In fact, those are the least noticeable because they're covered by clothes almost the entire time.
I don't think this chick, judging from her looks, that she's covered with
she's
clothes.
A slut, is what you're saying, because she has tattoos, which is actually the theme of a couple posts we're going to hear.
I believe that the file name for this image is "Suicide Girl Rodeo." So
boy, suicide. Boy, that would have been a fun topic. That would have been up for this.
For this one would have been good. Yeah, sure.
So back in the aughts and the early teens, tattoos were all the rage, and it was really a defining thing, a defining culture. And before like beards took over, and then like in 2014 is then when just all hell broke loose, and then everything was a nightmare. But there was an innocent time when someone would get a cool vintage rose tattoo on their arm, and people would be like, "Wow, that's an interesting person." They adopted the Betty Page look, but they have ink on their body.
They have a cool nautical star. That was a big one.
Well, you, my humble co-host, you in fact actually do have some tattoos. Is that correct?
I do. I have 2 very poorly done, thankfully very well covered with most clothing tattoos. I do. Yeah.
And what are they?
I got, when I was 18 years old, I helped an elderly woman move her house, and she gave me $100 to help her do that. And I immediately took that money and went to the tattoo parlor with my friend, where we decided we were going to get matching tattoos. No plan whatsoever. So while we were waiting for the tattooist to be done with his current client, my friend was looking at magazines and said, "Hey, how about this?" and pointed to the scorpion in the center of the O for the title for Once Upon a Time in Mexico, the Johnny Depp movie.
Mm-hmm.
I said, sure. So I got that scorpion tattooed on my chest. And then I also got a few years later a Hellboy tattoo on my right shoulder, which at the time I was not working out. And since that time has now stretched and cracked and broken and is barely legible what it's supposed to be. So, yeah, so those two. And I actually today was looking up how much it would cost to get those fucking things removed. And it is expensive. Wow, it's more expensive to get them removed than it is to get them on. I'll tell you what, folks. So,
yeah, that we actually discussed that in a post in this episode as well. Wow, we're really teasing you guys with this one. As for myself, do not have any ink whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I really haven't even, like, every once in a while it'll cross my mind, what could I get? And the only possible thing that I could consider doing would be like my kids' names or something like that. But even that is like, that's not me. Like, that would be very odd for me to have that on me. So then I'd say, well, maybe I could do some sort of ironic thing, but I know I would get over that joke in 4 weeks at the absolute.
Oh, that's given some time too. No, you would 100% be over it. Like, hours after.
There's a couple weeks where I'm like in denial. I'm like, this is actually pretty fucking cool. This I don't know, Bumblebee man from The Simpsons or something that's on my ass. It's like, haha, get it? And yeah, and then by late August I would be trying to off myself from this stupid ass decision I had.
Taking a belt sander to your cheek, just let's go. Yeah, get it off me.
Yeah. Now, listener Connor, who chose this episode, he actually had the idea to extend this topic to include all body modifications as well. We decided to laser focus this on tattoos. But if it was body mods, I could share the fact that I had a tongue ring when I was 16 years old. But
we've talked about that.
For some of you folks who weren't aware that I did have that, and it was a benevolent time in my life.
Just flicking it at the gal at the Wendy's drive-through. Yeah, from the backseat of your friend's Honda Civic.
Well, that would suggest that I had friends when I was 16, which is a bit of a stretch, which is probably why I did that. So I thought I could be cool by doing that, which turned out to be incorrect.
Man, that's painful. Okay.
But hey, speaking of Connor, what was the reasoning that Connor gave us for choosing this episode?
Another great reason from one of our wonderful listeners. Connor said, and I quote, "Personally, I don't have any tattoos. In fact, I really hate them. So hopefully you can find some posts to really piss me off." So great. Sure.
He gave us money for that. Cool.
He sure did.
I want to be angry in 7 months when this episode comes out. Hopefully he's gotten over his deep depression.
Hopefully he still listens. I mean, oh hell, who's to say? Connor, thank you though. Thank you for going to the store over. You went over to storeenvy.reportthishost.com and picked it or whatever. Nope.
Just read what's on the goddamn document.
Connor went over to reportthispost.com and smashed that buy a topic button, which will then take him to the store where you can go ahead and purchase a topic and then tell us what it is. And then between 6 to 8 months, we will then find posts for it and read them on the show.
We are currently, I think the next person that chooses a topic, it will be for the first week of February.
2023. Yep.
Yeah. Keep that in mind. Whenever, because I know some people choose topics and, it's like, hey, my boyfriend's birthday is next week. It's like, well, you may not even be together. He may be your husband by the time we do this. You may have several children together. Who the hell knows? So keep that in mind. We have a lot of folks that enjoy the podcast and that enjoy selecting topics and seem to really enjoy throwing their money away in doing so. There's another way you can actually choose a topic. It's if you go to patreon.com/report this post, if you are not in fact a member of our wonderful patron society at this point, we need to come up with a name for the group.
The RTP retards.
So if you go over there and you if you join at the $5 a month level, that will give you access to the full episode of the podcast every week. Now, if you're one of the free listeners, you'll notice that the show cuts off after like 30 something minutes or something like that. Well, the full episodes are like at least an hour longer than that generally. That means dozen more posts. Plus, we do several fun little bits at the end of the show. You'll get that. Plus, you'll get a bonus episode every week where we just read random stupid posts, not on any sort of topic. So that's fun just for $5 a month. But for $10 a month, if you join at that level, it's called the mod level. You stay a patron for 3 months at that level, you get to choose an episode topic. Or if you join at the admin level, $25 a month, 2 months later, you get to choose a topic. Plus, Christian will draw you something.
Yes. Yeah, so, I haven't had to do that one in a while. So yeah, thanks everybody.
If you like the cute little sketches and sketches for all of our episode topic artwork, that's all done by Christian. So he'll do one of those for you at the $25 a month level. Kind of like a great tattoo artist, right? Have you ever done it? Has anyone ever asked you to do a tattoo?
Oh yeah, never, and have never agreed to design a tattoo for someone. That is too much pressure. That's like
bad idea.
Something that somebody's gonna want on their body for their entire life, and like you're responsible for design. No, not me, sis. Nope.
I just randomly remembered that someone, I designed beer labels for a living. Mm-hmm. Someone actually tattooed one of them on their skin a couple of years ago. I forgot about that, and when I saw that. I wanted to kill myself because that's the most insane fucking thing imaginable. Why would you do that? It's very weird.
Sick. Absolutely sick.
It's that person sees that every single day of their life. Very weird.
Yeah, but I don't think they think about you when they see it though.
I think that's why they did.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. It might have something to do with the beer, but I don't know.
More so it's the guy that made the label.
It's more, yeah. It's probably more so that they were drunk and they just did it, and they can't get rid of it, and they really, really want to get rid of it. But oh well, my quote unquote artwork is on your body forever.
Really cool. And this guy's there. This is your best friend. You're saying now.
Why don't we go ahead and read some posts here?
Great. Someone went to Quora to ask, when a man gets a penis tattoo, does it need to be hard or soft? Guy named Kenneth DePrima, who lives in Siberia and breeds Siberian Huskies, answered, I have a friend who had the words, the truth, tattooed on his penis. He said it took forever because the pain of the needles made it go flaccid. They switched to a very sexy female tattoo artist. He said that helped, but still took forever. I asked, why would you tattoo your tool? He said, if his lady wants to handle it, I could tell her you can't handle the truth. I said, why would you put yourself through that pain? He said the same reason his testes are pierced. He said that women find it sexy. This can't be so, can it? A lady named Lori Lynn replied, just me, but I don't really find most tattooing sexy. It's very personal, in my opinion, and shouldn't be done without a lot of thought. If people have something to say it. We change over time. Tattoos are usually seriously ugly in old age. I can't imagine an old geezer with his wanger inked. If he likes attention, he'll likely get it. And Kenneth responded to that with, if you have a tattoo you'd like to share a picture of, post it here.
Man, this guy's just desperate. Maybe it's because he lives in Siberia.
You'd think he lives in Siberia with his dozens of dogs, and he's like, a lady responding to my post on Quora, my favorite website.
When in Siberia, what do? You breed Siberian. Maybe they're just regular Huskies, but when in Siberia, I guess they're just Siberian Huskies.
I think everything's a little bit different in Siberia. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's like Las Vegas.
What happens in Siberia? Yeah, stays there because nobody knows about it because there's 4 people that live there.
Couldn't pick it out on a map if my life depended on it. Probably won't ever come to that, so I'm not too worried about it.
Did you get abducted by a guy giving you a geography quiz to save your life, like Saw?
He'd be like, "Okay, we're gonna start off with the easy one. Where's Siberia?" I'm like, "Ooh, yikes!"
Go ahead and just put the bullet in my head. Know. Yeah, let's go.
He said the same reason his testes are pierced. Such a throwaway line. Like, well, it's kind of like how my balls are pierced, you know. It's like, what's that? What's that? That's actually weirder than your dick being tattooed. Your balls. You have one of those bull, one of those little bull. The bull piercings in the nose, but it's just through his balls.
Septum piercing right in the middle of it, right in the crack of the.
But the huge door knocker too, just hanging. Hello?
Getting caught on the underwear every single time.
Sir, that's my balls. That's my Siberian balls you're knocking right now.
Man. Yeah, I don't think a piercing tattoo or piercing your testicles is sexy. I don't think anyone would. I'm not sure the woman seeing what I can only imagine is Old English font of the truth on your 6-inch penis is.
These are sexy. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's that big. That massive. So these are Siberian women we're talking about. They have different measures of sexiness.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, they're used to huskies, so
yeah. You know, they leave the restaurant after having some seal blubber. You know, having some gray whale, whatever the fuck those freaks eat. Not to offend our Siberian crowd that listens. Our dedicated. How many listeners
are out there? Yeah.
You know what? There's at least one. There has to be at least one.
I don't. Okay.
There doesn't have to be.
I was going to say that's a bold statement, sir.
Now, we'll get back to this post in a second, but first, this episode of Report This Post is brought to you by Manscaped. It's officially summertime, and everybody talks about looking good for the warmer months, but few have the balls to do it. Well, it's time to nut up or shut up and take the easiest step to looking sexy this summer by using Manscaped. Now, Manscaped's Ultra Smooth package makes sure you have the proper care for down there, and their Boxers 2.0 gives you the perfect stage to show off the new look.
That's right. These products may make you look hot, but your cleanly shaved nether regions will keep you cool, and the Boxer 2.0 patented jewel pouch trademark technology will keep your boys from turning any beach day into a swamp day. The Ultra Smooth package is a specialized 3-step groin shaving kit to help you buff, protect, and smooth your most sensitive areas. I'm talking crop shaver razor, crop exfoliator, and crop gel. This kit is the perfect polish to make your family jewels shine. Hey, step 1, fellas, slap on the crop exfoliator, which can help reduce the risk of ingrown hairs in your delicate places, and is infused with ingredients that can soothe, clear, and keep the skin on and around your groin feeling refreshed. Step 2, apply the crop gel so you can see where you're shaving with their unique clear shaving gel just for the groin. It's called your delicate area for a reason. This is one place you do not want to go into blind. And step 3, whack those weeds with the crop shaver, which was designed for shaving the groin area with confidence. This razor has 3 precision blades, which include extra wide lubricating strips and a pivoting head for the ultimate groin grooming experience. Horrible phrase. All 3 of these vegan, cruelty-free, and sulfate-free products are included, so you know your manhood is in good hands and without compromise.
Once you have your hog in prize-worthy condition, grab yourself a pair of the Manscaped Boxers 2.0. Now, these are ultra-soft, moisture-wicking, cooling, anti-chafing masterpieces fit for a king and made for your royal scepter. Get 20% off plus free shipping using the code REPORT20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping using the code REPORT20 at manscaped.com. There are so few perfect summer days. Don't let hot, sweaty balls ruin them. Stay fresh, clean, and smelling good with Manscaped. Hey, a gentleman named Brian on Facebook shared the great news that he just married a woman named Linda, which is terrific news. Well, another gal named Helen responded with this. Your relationship wasn't in my mouth, but you sure were last week. Flew all the way up to New York, said you wanted me to come home, got matching tattoos with me, tattooed your name on my ass, told me you loved me, and you're pissed at everyone else? Try getting your shit together first or not using people and fucking with their head. Hope she likes the tattoo about me on you. Shortly later, she also added this post. Wow, especially after everything that just happened and you were tattooing your name on me.
Really cool.
Later, after several folks commented on all this drama, the guy Brian responded with this. Look, if y'all don't like it, get the hell over it. So what? We separated a few months and we did what we needed to do. We have both hurt one another. Until any of you and I do, any of you have perfect lives or relationships, leave my marriage and relationship the hell out of your mouth because it's none of your fucking business. If her and I choose to work things out like adults, then that's between us, not anyone else.
Okay.
So
he broke up with his current wife, I'm assuming, went and hooked up with this chick.
What happened was he just got married, but last week before he got married, he hooked up with Helen,
right?
And in the process, got tattooed.
Yeah, that's
names on their asses, and then several days later, he married another woman.
Just I'm gonna bop off for a minute. Quick, get another gal's name tattooed on my body, and then come on back and wed my blushing bride. Just like act like nothing happened, and then also publicly out myself. Just air my dirty laundry on Facebook.
Yeah. Fiance's texting him like, "Hey, here's a caterer I have in mind," and he's getting the name tattooed on his ass of another woman. It's like, okay, well, okay, I like Mexican food. We can go that route.
Whatever you think's best, honey. I'll let you make that decision.
Whatever's best, honey. Sorry, I'm in pain from the bachelor party I'm at.
The boys are really laying into me. Let me tell you. It's like hot needles almost.
I know there's a woman making noise a couple inches from my head. And you don't hear any men. That's unrelated.
I know she's loudly talking about how much she loves sucking my cock last night, but it's all a bit. It's a gag. It's the stripper. And she's old and she's yucky. So
and she's disgusting, and I don't love her. So
and I'm not getting her name tattooed on me. Do not worry about that.
There's a birthmark on my ass that I never told you about and you never saw. So if you see it in 4 days, that's always been there. You just never looked. I know it spells out the name Helen in Comic Sans font, but that's
actually that's your fault and your problem. So
maybe you should see someone about that. You have a big issue.
Well, good. All right. Speaking of gals,
sure.
A lady on Facebook shared one of those listicle article things titled 20 Under the Chin Tattoos You Didn't Know You Needed to Boost Your Confidence.
How is there 20 of them, let alone someone deciding that's a good idea for a list?
Because they were going to get $80 if they put that together before the end of the day, and God bless it, that's what they did. They those off like the BuzzFeed officers or anything like that, they have to have like a big wheel or like a bunch of big wheels they just spin, and it's like here's how many, what the topic is, and then like what the catch of it is. So it's like, okay,
I mean, even if it was just like generic tattoos, that's one thing, but under the chin tattoos specifically is very interesting. All right, let's see what we hear with these tattoos.
Boost your confidence. So that gal posted that, and her friend commented, "Sounds fat phobic, but okay." And the woman who originally posted it asked, "How?" And her friend replied, "1, it works on the assumption that the underside of the chin isn't noticeable, which as a fat person, mine is. Many fat people have double chins. 2, the assumption is also used in the phrase boost your confidence. There's stigma attached to having a double chin / being fat, and drawing attention to it may actually decrease your confidence. 3, Literally every photographic example is of a thin person. Again, the assumption that people are automatically thin is fat phobic. Points 1 and 2 aren't true for everybody who is fat and may even apply to people who are thin, but they are still issues of fat phobia.
Now I'm going to guess this friend thinks there's a lot of fat phobia in pretty much everything that they see on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that's their pet project. This one especially seems fairly innocuous, but yeah, it's in if you're like a big old fatso, and if you're a big old fatso and you're seeing pictures of people in their chins online, and you're like, yeah, their knees. This is actually offensive because there's not big fat double chins on them. I feel like you got to realize, like, okay, maybe am I wrong? Is there something wrong with me that I'm seeing this? I'm seeing pictures of just normal people with tattoos on their face, and I'm like, this is actually offensive.
Well, we did do a fat acceptance episode many moons ago.
Ooh, that's right, we did.
A lot of the comments on that were based around the fact that people found offense with anything that wasn't specifically fat related. So, yeah. I think that's exactly what it is that if it's not directly, if it's a thin person, they're going to be upset about it. Yep. That's the thing.
But also it says, like, the title says these tattoos will boost your confidence. Isn't that like shouldn't that be a signifier of, like, hey, if you're a big fat fuck and you have, 48 chins, you have more chins than a Chinese phone book, as they say, then wouldn't this be a great way to make you feel more confident, to defy fat phobia, No,
because it's just going to bring, man, that's just painting a target right on the side of a barn. You know what I'm saying? You're just putting that double chin hanging out.
Giant barn.
You're slapping a butterfly or a candy skull, Day of the Dead thing right on that bad boy. That's the first thing.
I haven't looked at this list. I'm going to guess there's a bunch of shitty tattoos on this.
Oh,
list.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're sitting around the house, as you do, when you're a tub of big fat fuck lard, get one of these, get some barbed wire underneath your barbed wire to, like, sculpt your double chin. That's a fun idea.
A tattoo,
sort of like as we discussed. I guess was it our bonus episode? We talked about George Lucas's beard.
Yes.
So doing that, but with barbed wire.
Just from the jawline down, just black it all out.
Oh yeah. Oh. They're like, wow. That would actually work. It's like, wow, you just a floating skinny head.
Yeah, it's so thinning.
It just looks like Yavin 4, the moon floating over Yavin.
Enough Star Wars stuff. Enough. We alienate our audience enough with our stuff.
Alien, just like Greedo.
Of all the ones.
Could have said Chewbacca.
Sebulba, right. Obviously, yeah.
So this is from the subreddit, our female dating strategy, which is basically the forum for incel type bitches. Starting to regret getting tattooed. Okay. The amount of times I've been approached and sexually harassed by scrotes using my tattoos as an excuse is ridiculous. This week especially has been the worst. In the first incident, I was waiting at the bus stop after having spent 3 hours at the beach. Needless to say, I was dead tired and just wanted to go home. Yet some scrote thought it was the perfect opportunity to swoop in to ask me about my tattoos. He extended his hand for a handshake, to which I refused. Hello, Delta variant. Then he started sulking like a fucking baby that I am being weird and, quote, not friendly. What? Yesterday on my way to work, I was accosted by this loser in the subway who literally checked out my tattoos right there and then proceeded to talk to me into becoming one of his bottle girls. I know this isn't really relevant, but I was literally wearing a $100 work dress, a $400 designer handbag, and a $200 pair of shoes. My outfit alone probably cost more than his rent, Yet when he said that at that moment, I couldn't help feeling so cheap and insulted. Here I was, a grown ass, white collar professional woman being treated like a naive high school girl dying for male attention. I could barely contain my disgust. I tried my best to contain my anger and contempt, as there weren't many others on the subway train. When my stop arrived, I bolted right out. Several hours later, as I was walking home from work, some 5-foot dwarf loser with sagging jeans started walking right next to me, talking something about my tattoos and pointing at them. Exhausted, I straight up said that I am not interested and that I have a boyfriend. This scrote literally replied back, "So, I don't care." He sounded so much like a predatory rapist. All kinds of alarm bells started ringing in my head, and I pretended I forgot something and dashed away while dialing my boyfriend. I'm so sick of these fucking losers thinking they're entitled to comment on my appearance and waste my valuable time and energy. I got my tattoos because I've always loved the aesthetic and have a great appreciation for the art form, but lately all the sexual harassment I've been getting is making me low-key regret having so many.
Cool.
This gal pretty much only posts in this subreddit, plus several other subreddits for NPD, i.e., narcissistic personality disorder, which is pretty fucking perfect.
That really, okay. It tracks now. Yeah. Everybody is looking at me. Everybody wants me. My tattoos. Everybody's talking to me about. Boy. Yeah.
I'm so hot. I have expensive clothes and things. I'm a big tough girl, but I will call my boyfriend while running away from a 5-foot freak. Yeah. This is exactly the kind of gal who posts on these forums. But yeah, just the incel version of, if there's an incel hot woman, this is what this is.
Yeah,
she probably is attractive, but she
something
is 23 years old and she will be hideous in about 3 years.
Something deeply, deeply wrong with the wiring on gals
Absolutely.
like this, for sure. Yeah. Actually, in the last bonus episode, we talked about one of the gals I dated prior who had reached out to me. She's one of these folks that has a ton of tattoos and then gets really pissed off when people look at them. That's just like,
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
One of her sentences was, there was this guy in the subway who literally checked out my tattoos.
Yeah.
Whoa. Literally? He literally looked at your tattoos. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
call the police.
Okay, wear a burqa. How about that? Let's do that.
I'm fine with it. Let's go that direction.
Just for tattoos or not, just cover them up. Get them the hell out of here. Fellas, take the sleeves off. Ladies, cover up. Disgusting. Great.
I don't even disagree that much.
Oh, we'll get in that in a couple later
Next
episodes.
Week's episode is going to be a good one. Let's just say that. Actually, I guess we can tease right now. We do have not next week, but in a little while, we will be doing an entire episode about female dating strategies. So look forward to that, folks. That's going to be a good one.
I don't know about that. Speaking of Reddit women, user Kaylee3498 went to the subreddit R Witchcraft to ask, tattoos attracting negativity? Hey, y'all. So I'm curious what everyone thinks about this. I'd like to get a few tattoos of goddesses or deities or mythological women, such as Lilith, Medusa, or Nyx. I'm very familiar with them from a scholarly standpoint and how they relate to me that way, but not from a witchcraft one. So I'm wondering if having them tattooed in my skin would attract unwanted energies, like when people tattoo dream catchers on themselves. I know that Lilith, for example, is considered a child-eating demon in certain religions, but from an art history perspective, which I specialize in, she is a symbol of how dangerous independent and liberated women are to men and the patriarchy. So I don't know if it matters more that she means to me or what she supposedly is, which would be more negative. And user Mojave Burning replied, when I was a young adult, I spent 3 years too long with a man who had a specific dragon tattoo on his left shoulder blade. He turned out to be emotionally abusive and violent. Fast forward 5 years later, I meet the man who would become the father of my child and my husband for 12 years. He had the exact same tattoo in the exact same spot as the first guy I mentioned. I convinced myself that it didn't mean anything and that it was just a coincidence. After 12 years, I found that he was not the man I thought he was. He was quite horrible, and then he took his own life. If I had listened to my instincts about that tattoo, I don't think I would have stayed with him at all. He once wanted to get both a demon and an angel tattoo on either side of his ribs. He got the demon first and never got the angel. I think it fed into the darkness he was already fighting. I have since added dragon and demon tattoos to my list of deal breakers should I ever decide to date again.
Should she ever decide to date again?
Well, I mean, it was a 12-year marriage, you know.
Yeah. 12 years.
And then she's like, this guy kind of sucks. And he's like, hey, also, by the way, peace out. I'm just going to off myself. Thanks.
Yeah.
I've been married for 12 years. I think I'm going to kill myself. Like, well, obviously she was a great gal too. So cool.
That's a great story there. I feel like the dragon and demon tattoos, the least of this lady's concerns as far as deal breakers. How about the fact that you married a suicidal weirdo? Is that?
I mean, how about you married a guy with a fucking dragon tattoo? That's pretty bad just to begin with.
So our first gal, Kaylee, first of all, special. So she probably has a degree in art history.
Something like that. Yeah.
Instantly a bad sign.
Romance.
Just a fake degree. Doesn't matter. Not real. Just several years wasting money and time. So that's already bad. But she's still has to ask questions about it. You like if you're in school that long studying something that fake, and then you're like, well, I'm also going to get into witchcraft. Just all around, these are bad gals who don't know what the hell's going on.
Fellas, ignore these women,
please. Do not give these gals attention. Just don't. And if you do, and you happen to marry one, take the route of the dragon and demon guy and just blow your brains out.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Be prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice.
As Scar said, be prepared.
Okay. This will be on our Lion King episode.
All right, we're going to stop right here because we're going to finish the rest of this episode over on patreon.com/reportthispost. That's right. If you enjoyed this first 20-ish to 30-ish minutes of the episode, you'll be happy to know that there's about an hour extra of this one over there on patreon.com/reportthispost. Head over there, and all you got to do is subscribe for $5 a month. You'll get every single full episode with dozens of more posts a month, plus an additional bonus episode every single week. Unbelievable. This is literally millions of posts that we read on the air every single month. Possibly billions. I have not counted. In fact, I can't count. I'm actually illiterate as well. But irregardless, patreon.com/reportthispost, and we'll see you over there, and God bless.